Hi, welcome to Thomas Family Light Show. Today, I'm going to answer a question about how I set up my RF transmitter and how I was able to allow the viewers that come by our show to view the show and hopefully answer some questions you might have there. So, hey, stay tuned. We'll get to it in just a moment. So for my show this year, I'm running it primarily off of two Culp boards. My primary is a Culp 16. That is where I'm using the integrated RF transmitter with that Culp 16. My other is a Culp 8 that I have using the multi-sync with that to help run the show. That's then feeding some smart receivers. For that Culp 16 with the integrated FM transmitter, it seems to work really well for me. I've got a really short distance between that board and the road. One thing I did find out though, as I started setting everything up, is that I was getting a lot of static. Wasn't sure exactly what was causing that. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're really curious, how do I set up my antenna? How do I set up the board? Things of that nature. But I will say, one of the features of the FM transmitter that you can integrate with the Culp is the ability to RDS or transmit RDS, which is going to be additional data with the name of the song and some information for your show. I quickly discovered that having that on created additional static in most radios that were coming by our home, and it reduced the transmit distance that I was able to achieve. So as soon as I turned that off, it was a night and day difference. So we'll go ahead and spin around here, and I'll let you take a look at what I have set up and how that's working for me. So I have my control box down here behind this bush. This is going to remain installed all the time for my show because it is running my RGB trim from Matos Design, permanent mounted pixels on the house. I decided at this time not to put this in my garage. I didn't have a good penetration to go into my garage with it, but I currently do have the network cable running into the garage to help with the communication. So might look at upgrading this after this season and doing something a little bit different here. So what I'll go in here and explain to you what I did here is inside of the box, I'm using the integrated RF transmitter that Culp can use on their boards. You'll see that mounted right up here at the top corner here. From there, I'm using a single wire that's coming down, and I actually have this attached to a 3.5 millimeter barrel plug. That barrel plug is then coming out under here, and that is allowing me to install via a coax and then a 3.5 millimeter plug here, an antenna that I did purchase off Amazon that I have mounted to the side of my downspout here. That fully extended there gets that 30-inch magic point that most of the time we want for transmitting our shows. This has worked really well. I did have a smaller antenna that I kind of had mounted up here before. Was getting a little bit of interference, but this one has been very different. No complaints on the quality with this setup. So super simple. I wouldn't be intimidated at all by how to set up and wire the antenna. I only used one of the wires for the antenna because it is two. There was a red and a black. So your common and then your primary. If you think about it, when putting the wires together, if you did connect them and do it first, it would go all the way up and then come right back down. So really it'd be making a longer wire in that regard. I didn't have any issue when I did it both ways, but I did go ahead and just disconnect one of them so that there was only one up there. So that's how I did my FM transmission, and it's been working really well for those that's come by to view our show. So if you have any more questions considering how I set up my show and how I did my FM transmission, please don't hesitate, give a comment below. If you like this video, like it. If you would like to see more like this, please go ahead, subscribe, and I'll be sharing more of my show with you. Thank you.